Spiderman, Spiderman does whatever a cow can do. Squirt, squirt, homie. Hey guys, so today we're gonna be making a Batman cake. We're making a cute Spider-Man cake because I thought Groot was cute, so I wanted to make a sequel. This is a sequel to Groot. Let's get started. Now to create this cake, I created my own sort of tinfoil pan. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have that much leftover cake, so I made it the exact same size as my printout. Took it out of the tinfoil, cut it into 2 equal layers, and then placed my Spider-Man printout on top. I'm just gonna cut out Spider-Man shape using my paring knife. I decided to make it a red velvet cake because red velvet is life, you guys. And also Spider-Man's suit is red, so I thought it was appropriate. I'm just gonna pull away the excess, then move my cake onto my turntable, took off the top, and just ice the inside of it with some buttercream. Use cream cheese buttercream. It tastes really good with red velvet. Now I'm gonna take my paring knife and I'm just gonna start to carve his head. I don't want any of his features to be flat, so I'm just rounding everything out. It's kind of the reason I left the top of the cake on there because it's really gonna help while I'm shaping it. After I was happy with his face, I moved on to the rest of his body. Then I gave him a crumb coat. Now you can give this a second coat of buttercream, but I don't really like that much sweetness, and there's already a second layer of sweetness because of the fondant, but I'm just gonna rip that off and throw it in the trash anyways. Curtis was giving me flack for not liking buttercream. Yo, but sometimes I don't even like cakes. Sometimes my favorite cake is cornbread because it's not super sweet. Cornbread cakes are pretty good too. If you don't know who Curtis is, you can check him out here and subscribe to his YouTube channel. His cakes are pretty. They're really pretty. And I'm rolling out some fondant. This cake is going to be covered in red and blue fondant, and I'm going to take some black fondant to create more of Spider-Man's features. Now I created a Spider-Man printout, and I'm just going to cut out both of his eyes as well as that little spider that's on his chest. Place it all onto my black fondant and then cut it out using an X-Acto knife. So you're gonna need 2 eyes and then a couple black strips for the detail on his body. I also used some white fondant to create the white of his eyes. Now I love that the eyes on the Spider-Man costume like move and they get big and small, you know? The lenses shift to help him with his vision, and that's the first time I've ever seen that. I'm going to start applying all of my fondant to the cake, and we're gonna have ourselves a Spider-Man talk because you guys, I love this movie. 6 times the charm, apparently. I really wasn't expecting to like this, and I really wasn't expecting all of the laughs. There's so many funny moments, so many surprising moments. Before Homecoming, my favorite Spider-Mans were 1 and 2 with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. I love their chemistry, and I think Kirsten Dunst, I just think she's great. You know, it's really sad that they didn't get to make a 3rd movie. There is a Spider-Man 3. No, there isn't. Yeah, it's with the
No.
Yeah, there
I
is.
don't believe that.
No. There's so much to love. Like, I love the backdrop of Queens and the diversity of the students and the faculty. And I love that we get this like really tiny hint that Miles Morales is in this universe. And if you don't know who Miles Morales is, he's also Spider-Man. Read the comics, you guys. Now Liz, his love interest, her plot really, that was a huge surprise to me. And Zendaya as Michelle. Whoa, her part is like super small, but it's gonna explode in the next couple movies. Oh gosh, and Marissa Tomei as Annie Mae. Oh. Now before I saw this movie, I was like, she can't be Anne May. Anne May's supposed to be old, elderly, gray hair, wrinkles on her wrinkles that are everywhere on her body and her face. I had a lot of reservations, but her being younger works. And I'm curious to see how her character evolves within this new franchise because she's given a new role, I think. Oh my god, watch the movie, guys. Now Uncle Ben is dead. Aunt May's husband is dead. And that's not even like a spoiler, that's just like Spider-Man 101. In previous films we've seen him die, and it's been like shoved down our throats so many times that this movie only hints at it and we already know what they're talking about. In previous films, Uncle Ben died at an older age where his life sort of was like fulfilled. But because in this film Annie Mae and Uncle Ben are so much younger, it's almost like he was cut down too soon, you know, and that could be so much more emotional for May and Peter. Peter Parker, you guys, Tom Holland. I love that Tom Holland feels like a high school student and not just some 27-year-old man just strolling through the halls of a high school. He's 21, but he's very passable as somebody much younger. Now, if you haven't seen his movie, The Impossible, you need to watch it. I think that's some of his best work. He does a lot of comedic work in Spider-Man, but when it comes to like the dramatic scenes, man, he's got some chops. But this movie is really funny. Like, there is... Oh my gosh, you guys, you need to watch it. I'm gonna spoil it for you if I tell you this. Now, let's get to the not so fun part of this cake. I thought I was gonna hate this a lot, and I did, but not as much as I thought I would. Yolanda Gump from How to Cake It, remember? Do you remember her? I remember her. She uses this clay extruder, and I bought one on Amazon, and it actually really helped. Put on a tip, and then you wind the top, like so. It's hard. And you get these really small pieces of fondant string. Isn't it so cool? You just keep winding it and you get a long string. And if you want, it could be a braid in your hair. I wanted to make sure I put all the spider webs in the correct place, so I just marked where they should go with a fondant tool. Then I brushed on some vodka to act as glue. Place all of these pieces of string onto the cake. This part was fun because I was only working on the longer pieces of spider webs all over his face as well as his body. The shorter pieces of spider web that connect each piece, it sucked putting this on. It took so long, I was getting angry. I created some black pipeable royal icing and just used that to create this inner spider web. It was so easy to control, so easy to put on, I was happy. After I finished that, I placed on the last bit of his suit, the Spider-Man logo on his chest. It kind of looks like the Spider-Man Homecoming logo. I had to alter it a little bit because it was just too small. But in the end, it still looked fantastic. He looks like Spider-Man, but cute and kind of harmless. I love this cake, and I'm going to do Spidey Gwen at some point just because they're like so cute. They're like one of the cutest couples. If you want to see more Marvel stuff, there is a playlist for you in the description box as well as some links here. Make sure you follow me on Instagram because I post pictures of everything as soon as I finish it. See, I was working on Spider-Man, Jasmine, and Tiana all at the same time. I was overwhelmed. Make sure you check Curtis's channel out. I love you guys. I will see you very soon. Bye.